What up? Hey guys, what's up, and welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm gonna take you behind the scenes of another product shoot. This time we're shooting a skincare product, and these are the two products from a company called Luxona. The packaging is very beautiful. We're gonna have some fun and we're gonna have some challenges because this surface is highly reflective. So yeah, the lighting is going to be a challenge, but we're going to get around that. Really love what they did with this, but anyhow, that's what we're shooting today, skincare stuff. If you watch any of my previous videos, then you're going to be familiar with the format of this. I just take you through each shot, kind of tell you my thoughts and considerations of my decision makings and how I get around certain issues, certain problems, and the solutions for those. So if you're new here, do consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into the studio and get this done. Okay, so this is the first shot that we're going to be shooting in this sequence. This is going to be the last clip shown in the video. So that's the hero shot at the very end, where we see the products in, you know, sort of just in all their glory. It's the end of the video. It's going to say, okay, cool, this is who we are, go and buy me. That's the intent for the hero shots at the end of the video. But we're doing this at the very start because the products are at their most pristine condition. You know, when you start doing other types of shots with this, where you have the product submerged in water and throwing them around, you know, things can get damaged, the labels can get damaged. So we want to have these in their best condition, which is why I usually shoot this shot first. So that's out the way. Let's get up to the lighting setup. So this is a single light setup. This is one light. So we have, you can see a big light source there, and that's coming from a 300D, aperture 300D. That's a hard light source being diffused a little bit by this diffuser right here, and that's just bouncing all that light onto our background. So we're using a colored background, and that is then reflecting back this way. So the intention for the shot is to do a slide in and a tilt up at the same time. So we're using the Rhino slider with the Arc 2 that allows us to do that. Plus, whilst we're doing that, we're maintaining focus. So there's 3 axes in play right here. So we have the focus, motor just on here, focus racking as we move and we get closer into the product, and we're sliding towards the product, and we're also tilting up. So we're going to come from the reflections up into the shot that we can see here on the screen right now. Also, if your monitor or your camera does have grid lines, when you're doing stuff like this, utilize your grid lines to make sure that everything lines up and everything is evenly spaced within the frame. So these guidelines are a good way to help you to do that. All right, so what we got here for this shot is we have the products sitting on a mirror. So this is just sitting on a mirror, and that's sitting on a turntable below. So that turntable is going to spin the products, and we have quite a tight crop, as you can see here. And then that essentially is that shot right here. Now this shot is quite a simple shot. Again, we're using one light, but even though it's simple, there are still challenges, especially lighting wise. We're on a slider, and we have 2 axes of movement going on here. So when you do a parallax shot, it's important to have foreground. So the foreground is what you're pivoting against essentially. So you have that foreground movement, and because it's closer to the lens, you're seeing it move so much more. You know, it enhances the effect of the motion. And then you have your product, and then again you have your background, which all of that is working in tandem to create that parallax move. So in the final video, this shot is actually one of the simpler shots. It looks, you know, quite simple, but this took me at least 3 hours to get right. I mean, it took me about an hour just to set up and to tweak the lighting and to flag everything off. Again, working with, you know, white, light, and reflective surfaces. So we had to set that up, and then to actually get the shot just the way that I wanted it, like to get the perfect twirl on here, that took a little while as well. So essentially what I did was to just wrap this around here and pull it up. And it seems simple, right? Yeah, but what you have to bear in mind is that this is going to be a reverse shot. So this was reversed in post to make it look like, well, you see what it looked like. Yeah, so getting that just right so it appears to be done naturally was the tricky bit. So I had quite a lot of takes on this one, and ended up having to use the best take for that one. Okay, so it's day 2 of this shoot, and we're going to be shooting liquids today. Like I said previously, I wanted to leave these types of shots till the end because we're going to be dropping them in liquids. We're going to be immersing them in liquids, so chances are the labels and that kind of thing may get damaged during the shoot. So that's kind of the reasons why I leave these shots till the end part. So I'm just going to take you through the shot. The first shot that we're going to do today for the liquids, we're going to be dropping the product in milk for a super slow motion shot. Okay, so let's start with the camera on this one. So this is a super slow-mo camera. This is the Kronos HD 2.1, and this is capable of shooting up to 1,000 frames per second. So we're going to be using this today for the slow-mo drop. And this is the setup that we have here. This is the plexi tray, and we're going to be filling that with milk, and that's where we're going to drop the product. So high-speed shooting requires a lot of light at 1,000 frames per second. So I'm pretty much using all the lights that I have in the studio. Aperture 120D, 300D, and up above I've got LED bank. These are my Westcott Flex 1x1s. So there's 2 of them up there. Today I'm also using the parallax table, so we can get a bit of motion in the shot. And one last thing, if we come around this side, we can see I have a dropper here. So I'm using this as the dropper to drop the product into the tray. So if I had, to be honest, this is not absolutely necessary. And if I did have someone at hand that would drop it in there for me, then that'll suffice as well. But in this case where I've got to do so many things at the same time, I don't have enough hands. So this is my pneumatic rig that I've set up here, and that's just going to do that job for me. Okay, so let me just take you through the back of the camera to see what that shot looks like. So this camera can record up to 5 seconds duration at any given time, and I'll keep overwriting that 5 seconds for as long as you have the camera rolling. So it records essentially the last 5 seconds, so from pressing start record to stop record. So at the back of the camera we can review that shot and decide if we like it or not, and if we want to save it. So we can go to just where the shot starts, and this is a touch screen by the way at the back here. We can just scrub this up to where the shot starts, let's say, and then we can fine tune it using this wheel as well. So if we go up to here, I want to start there for example, you hit the mark start button, then you go to the end of the clip, you go to the end, and you probably give it a little bit more after the end, so just so you have enough to play with. If we were to play that back, and you can play that back in whatever rate you want. So I'm going to be putting this on a 24 frame timeline anyway. The closest that we have is 30 frames, so we're going to play that back and see what that looks like. Once you press play, it's just going to cycle through that little clip, so you can decide whether or not you want to save or delete the shot and try again. But I'm going to delete this one anyway because the label is not where I want it to be. I want it to be showing at the front. Now for this next shot, we're going to be using the tank. We're going to be using the water tank or the fish tank, and we're going to be submersing the product in it. Now I did a test like this some time ago, ages ago, just for my own purposes. So that never really made it, that concept never made it into a client video. And a lot of the times I look at ways of bringing a unique twist to any sort of regular shot, that is. So you think about, and one of the easiest ways to do that is to either reverse something or turn it upside down, or a combination of both, which is what I'm going to be doing here. So when I add those elements along with, in this case it's going to be super slow motion, the result is quite nice in my opinion. Right, so this is the setup for this shot. I've got 3 lights working on this because we're doing super slow motion, and I'm using all the lights that I have once more. So light on just on the left This one is diffused here, and also it's going through some frosted plexiglass here, just to add another layer of diffusion on that as well, because like we see before, it's quite a reflective surface on this product. I have another light coming through here, coming through that diffuser, and just up above, just some extra bit of light in there, as you can see. All right, so in the tank, let's come around this way. We have the product suspended, and this is where grip come in useful. So I got quite a lot of these little things that I can make up something or come up with a solution to whatever the problem might be. So that's just sitting on a C-stand right here, and it's upside down in the tank. So I'm gonna have a look at that. That's sitting upside down in the tank right there, ready to go. And this line, this orange line here, is an air line where it's coming from my compressor, which is just over there. So I could have air on demand. So if we were to just spin this, whoops, there we go. So I can control how much air and how fast, and you know, just tweaking that, just fine-tuning that is going to give you quite a different range in terms of how the bubbles look, and it's just a matter of going through that, testing a few shots and seeing which one looks best. All right, now today we're going to be shooting the model segment for this video. So this is just adding another layer to the production, so you don't just have product-centric shots. We have model to help kind of tell and help drive the story, because at the end of the day, it's a product for, you know, people to use and to, you know, for them to look and feel beautiful. So that is the element that we are shooting today.
Yeah, I've done like Christmas jumpers in like August. I'm like, oh, so hot. Those big like woolly jumper on.
And it's a wrap on this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it useful. Hope you found something of value in it. And I try to give you as much as I can in these behind the scenes videos. It's not a secret. There's problems and there's solutions, and I just kind of try to show you some of my solutions. And that is it, guys. If you did enjoy it, do leave a comment below for me. Smash that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.